Hey everyone, welcome to Dice on Ice. My name is Megan. Tonight we will be playing a game once again in the setting of Crifoth, which is a creation of both Connor and myself, and it is currently going through playtesting. And I am joined with these excellent players as they are Blood Knights, a group of elite tieflings who are in the strongholds trying to do everything that they can to kind of wreck the plans of the demons. And we're going to just start right away. The four of you walk down this desolate, what used to be a street. There's cracks all over, and through these fissures you look and you can see lava flowing red, giving off this eerie glow. Puddles of what looks to be black oil kind of pop up in various sections of this road. It almost seems like it's alive. The water kind of, this ichor, this oil kind of crawls towards you as you walk past it and almost reaches up. But in an instant, it recoils away back into its form, as though you are not good enough to be its prey. You are not an ideal host. Scorch, you remember what your captain said to you about this mission. There are some legionaries running from one of the strongholds. Your job is to try and save them, to try and recruit them to be Blood Knights, because a trained body is a trained body. And if they had enough gumption to try to escape, then they may be worthwhile. The four of you are new to the Blood Knights. You are not yet Blood Knights, although all of you have aspirations of becoming a true Blood Knight. Thousand Scars, can you make a perception check for me, please?
Thousand Scars gets a total of 22 in that perception check.
You glance up and you see in one of the windows of a destroyed, dilapidated building that the roof is no longer there and half of the building is crumbled. But in one of the windows, you see something, or someone, a face, but only for an instant. And then, just as quickly, it is gone. The silhouette, no more. It's just an empty window. Do you do or say anything?
In a low voice, Thousand Scars mutters to his companions, "We are not alone." And he would kind of like begin to look to possibly, if he could try and catch that figure once again.
And though you look, There was no sign of it, her, whatever it was. Blitz, will you make me a perception check, please?
$14.
You hear a whisper in almost a sing-song voice. You can't quite make out what they're saying, but the voice almost seems to be carried in the wind. And as you look, you see this is not in where Thousand Scars was looking. This is in the opposite direction. You see a hand curled around the edge of a building. The hand is like covered in dried blood. Looks slender. And then you see another hand on top of it. And then another, and then another, and then another. 10 hands curled around this building, around this corner. But in a few seconds, it is gone. Do you do or say anything?
Yeah, we definitely got company. And then did it like completely go back behind the building?
Yes,
or,
the hands kind of curled back till they were out of sight behind the building.
Something sneaking around back there. I'd point in the direction that
We best brace ourselves for battle. As he hefts his massive hammer in his 2 brawny hands.
What kind of something?
Bunch of creepy crawlies. Hands for days.
Not liking the sound of that.
I have faced worse bits.
Were these hands like our size, humanoid size? Well,
yeah, they look like human hands. Underneath the flecks of blood, you could see a stark whiteness. So they're not tiefling.
could be a hungry tiefling.
Or it's a hungry tiefling. And so you all are on the hunt for some legionaries that you heard were in this area.
Could I see if it is fiend?
Yes.
I have advantage to determine if it is a fiend in any way.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So yeah, just an insight, I believe.
Okay. Oh, insight. All right. That's better than 18.
You all smell it in the air. The definite stench of a fiend. But then again, this whole place reeks of fiend blood. But Blitz, you have this acrid odor that you associate with a fiend, but you've never smelled anything like this before. It's almost sickly sweet.
The smell is sweet to me then?
Mm-hmm. You know it's fiend, but it's not the typical fiend stench that is just everywhere, permeating through every every place.
Oh, he would sniff the air, you know. Smells like dessert. And he'd begin to unsheath his kopesh and move towards where I was following his nose.
Do the rest of you follow?
Yeah, Thousand Scars would have Blitz's back. It is best as warriors to fight with your backs to another of your allies. Do not go alone into battle. And he accompanies him, his shield brother.
Scorch would also follow, but would hang back about 5 to 10 feet. But more like 10 feet.
Yeah, Amon would follow, but very cautiously, more creeping up measured steps. About 15 feet behind Scorch.
Blitz, as you kind of round this corner of where the smell was, which happens to also be where you saw the hands, the smell suddenly dies. And you don't smell it anymore. Everything resumes to the normal, disgusting stenches.
He knows been playing tricks on me or something. It would be a first, though. Can't find it. Could I try and track it and see if I can find the scent anywhere nearby or anything?
Yeah, roll me a survival or investigation, something like that, just to see if you can look around the area.
Being that I'm a hunter, I'm gonna try survival. I'll have advantage to track if it's a fae, a fiend, or an undead.
Mm-hmm.
Does that qualify for advantage? All right.
Yep, it is a fiend.
I think while he's doing that.
Go ahead.
What were you saying?
While he's trying to find it, by the time Amon would get up, you would just hear sort of echoing behind the mask he's wearing. I don't smell anything special.
I'll wait to see what you tell me before I respond to him.
What did you get?
An 18?
Oh, an 18. This thing has just vanished, disappeared. You can't see any signs of it, save for a scorch mark, handprint of where you saw all the hands kind of reaching over, but only one, about midway up where you saw the first hand.
I too have lost the smell, but see, right here is where I saw it.
Well, let's
Amon,
not stay long. We must
Amon?
press on. Go ahead.
Amon, can you make me a perception check, please? Sorry, Connor.
Not natural 20.
Amon, you see behind your three companions what looks like a woman, very emaciated, long, stringy, black, matted hair that falls in front of her face. She's not wearing anything, and you can just see her bones just sticking out of her skin. She kind of looks at you, and as soon as she does, you get that sickly sweet smell again.
From
And
behind his go ahead.
And she kind of runs around the other side of the building.
When he first sees her, he just giggles under his mask. Points at Blitz and then just wiggles his finger for him to turn around.
He'll start to turn one way and then go the other way to look.
Yeah, Blitz, you see maybe what looks to be just like some hair just kind of flowing alongside the other way around the building.
He would blink a couple times and see if he's really seeing what he sees or not. But by that time, I'm assuming it's gone behind the building.
Yeah. But the thing is, you don't hear any footsteps. You hear no running. You hear no sound of feet. It's almost as if she was running on air.
How far away is that building that she went behind?
It's the building that you guys are at. You kind of are at the one side of it, and she was at the other. So I'd say probably around 15 feet.
15, I would 20. Have a quick pace and try to see if I can see anything over around the corner, but not really like run over there, but just briskly walk over because I don't know if my mind's playing tricks on me, and I don't want to give that away to my companions if I'm losing it.
Mm-hmm. So you run around the corner, and again, nothing is there. And this time, you do not. And that smell, you didn't even smell it. Only Eamon smelled it. Or Ammon smelled it.
Fellow knights, we must press on. Thousand Scars kind of says a little more firmly this time, kind of trying to get everyone to come back and rally and keep heading on to find the stray legionaries. That is our goal.
Do we know anything about their capabilities, or like, do we know them? Are these people that we served with or anything like that?
The legionaries? No. They are your enemies, essentially. The legionary, yeah, they are enemies. But you have recruited legionaries in the past because they are skilled. They know how to fight. So some of them have just had enough with the Legion and with the Archfiends, and they leave, and they, more often than not, go and join the Blood Knights. So you guys want to press on?
Scorch would definitely turn back to Thousand Scars and start following him.
Yeah. Again, well, I really didn't have a moment. This may change how he appears to the party, or maybe stuff for you to use during game. The way Amon is adorned, he's not covered in armor or anything, but he's covered in like layers of differing hides. Wherever you see his skin, he'd have like various ritualistic scars. And on the hides and even off his skin, off of various piercings, would be hanging different bones of, different creatures, finger bones, claws, maybe a spine, just a disc of a spine. So as he walks to follow behind, you'd hear the of almost like wind chime nature of these old, dried, and hollowed, or hollow bones. And upon his face is a mask. And wherever the mask looks, the eyes of the mask move instead of there being eye holes to see his face.
Very cool. Very cool. So you guys kind of abandon your search for this thing. And so now as you guys are continuing to walk down the street, we're going to be doing a skill challenge to see if you can find the legionaries. You know you're in relatively the right spot, but you're not exactly sure where. So just give me a moment. I'm just going to put all the skills that you can use. Meanwhile, roll initiative for me, but just keep it for just a moment. So you guys can put your initiatives in the chat, or you can tell them to me, whichever you'd like. What did you get, Chad? Oh, 18. Okay, cool. All right, so it's going to go Amon, Blitz, Scorch, and 1,000 Scars. And so, Amon, tell me which skill you are going to use, how are you going to use it, and then give me a roll.
I think Amon is going to use his perception. And he's going to be doing it by, as he's walking, like I said, he's covered in these bones, these remnants, and he makes a little noise as he moves. So, as he's keeping an eye out, he'll actually start moving in a more sinuous manner to allow what he's wearing to make more noise. Almost as an audio cue to try to make something notice him and draw them out so that he could notice them. I'm going to be rolling perception.
All right, give me a roll.
Okay. That's cocked. 14 total.
Okay, so that is a fail. And so as you move, all you can hear is the sound of what bones are making, all of this. That's all you notice. Everything else is quiet. Blitz.
Well, I don't like to be prey, but I want to see if maybe I have some insight as to anything that some insight into seeing if this is an ability that's something that I've ever encountered or heard of or something, to see if this is what something else might be up to.
So just to make sure you guys kind of understand, you guys are looking for the legionaries, right? You guys are yeah, okay. So you're trying to use investigation.
Well, I guess I'm just trying to see if it's not really like an Arcana check. I'm just trying to see if I guess I'll just track them. I was trying to see if this is an ability that I would know that something would have, that something is playing, if I'm getting.
Oh, okay, yep. All right. No, I got you now. Okay. Yeah. Roll then.
I got 9.
That is a fail. You start to hear this whistling noise. And at first it sounds like it might be the wind coming through something to create this sound, but then it raises in pitch, lowers in pitch, almost like it's trying to perform this long, stretched out song. Scorch.
Scorch kind of backs away from the others of the group, and she kind of turns, puts her back against one of the buildings, and it's kind of going to sneak around, so using stealth around a building, kind of trying to, kind of to, not to hide, but to kind of see if anything will come out behind her fellows, like, as they go away and the sound moves with them, if somebody would make an appearance. So she's going to use stealth.
Sure, go ahead.
14.
That is a fail.
I tried.
So, you go around this building and you do see something, but it's not the tieflings. It's this woman. You see her now. She's severely emaciated. Long, matted black hair down over her eyes, over her front. And you see that there's something behind her. Something attached to her back, maybe, but you can't quite see what it is. And she starts moving slowly towards you. And this sweet smell returns to your nose, and you can see as she comes closer that she is covered in blood. Now you see this down an alleyway. What do you do? What do you say?
How far away is she?
She's about 10 feet now from you, down this alley that you look down.
I think she would just kind of yell out a little bit, 1,000 scars, hoping that they haven't gone too far away and that he could hear her and come back. But she's not going to kind of lose eye contact. She's going to keep her eye on this thing because we've lost it before. So we're going to, kind of slowly back up, but not really. Like, I'm not going to try and show like I'm like a scared animal. I'm going to, show that I'm not scared. And I'm going to slowly back up, hoping that the reinforcements will come before this thing, either eats me or takes off.
A 1,000 scars would respond to your exclamation, and he would try to spot the thing as well, if possible.
So you go over as well, and you see this woman as well. Her head is slightly turned up, and she looks at you, and she's kind of tilting her head back and forth at you, making this whistling noise, though her mouth is closed, that raises in pitch, then lowers, then raises, then lowers.
Thousand Scars pauses for a moment and would lunge at the thing, hammer in hand.
Okay, make an attack roll, please.
So with my maul, ooh, I got a 22 to hit.
That is a hit.
So that'll be 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
How does she look after that wallop?
You slice one of her arms off completely. And she just stands there and she stops advancing towards you. And she looks down at her arm laying on the ground, and you can see this black blood just spurting out from the wound. Then she lifts up one of her hands like this. And then from behind her, another arm comes out, and then another, and then another, and then another, so that there's this fan of hands that have just come out from behind her. And one of them, and you can hear these bones cracking as one of the arms almost looks like it's moving down to where this stump is. And it just fills the stump, stops bleeding, and the hand begins to move. And all the hands begin to move, mimicking the other one. And she screams, this ear-piercing scream. And that's initiative for everyone, please.
Are you keeping your... Oh, okay. New initiatives?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Did you steal all my dice?
No, they're all should be in that little purple box.
Oh.
I only took some I need.
Yes. I see that now. Okay. Connor and Nelson, what are your decks?
14.
Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. So, all right. So, 16. Oh. Chad and Karen, what are your dex modifiers? Okay, cool. So it's going to go Scorch, Blitz, Amon, and then 1,000 Scars, and then this thing. All right, Scorch. This, what happened was in view of all of you, so you have seen this, and you are within about 10, 15 feet of this thing.
I'm going to step back about 10 feet, and then I'm going to chant a strange word that my human voice cannot pronounce. And at the same time, I will fling both hands forward, and this shimmering, hot red force is going to shoot out and streak towards the lady. I'm casting Eldritch Blast.
Cool.
And 15 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, yay. So she'll take 10 points of force damage.
Cool. All right.
It's
And
particularly agonizing when it hits her.
And do you just want to stay there? Do you want to move?
Yeah, I moved back 10 feet, so that's good for now.
All right.
Yeah, 10 feet behind 1,000 Scars at this point.
Okay. Blitz.
Seeing this fire and after hearing the scream, I'm gonna have to run over there. And as I do so, I'm gonna bring my own blade across my thumb to draw some blood to enact my Crimson Rite of the Storm, and then try to bring the thunder down upon her. That's a miss. The worst kind.
Wait, did you get a fail? Like a crit fail?
Yep.
Do you want to try to reroll it by breaking your sword?
Is that worse? I thought that's one of the things that's automatically gonna. I thought that's what happens. Is it's
No. You can. You have the chance if you would like to re-roll that, but it's going to be at the cost of your weapon.
And you can choose just to accept the miss.
Yeah,
You're fine with it just being a miss.
yeah, absolutely. I kind of need this thing.
Okay. All right. I'm on.
How does the terrain look where we're at? Around us, around her?
So you guys are kind of at like a T intersection. You had like the street you were walking down, and then the alleyway that this thing was kind of there. So it's kind of rocky, and then you have just these buildings kind of surrounding you.
But are they level to us? Are they like ancient collapsed buildings or buried under sand? You know.
No, this is pretty structured. There isn't too much sand. And some of them are leveled, some of them are more dilapidated, and some are standing.
All right. Okay. So I guess Amon drops down for a moment to all fours and scurries backwards a few paces like a frightened little animal before gathering himself and giggling under his mask, followed by a few almost inaudible words, and his tail begins to twist and flicker about. And the heat from Scorch's blast, this pseudo heat, begins to follow his tail form and extend out into a pillar of flames as he creates bonfire right underneath this thing. So it has to roll dexterity save DC 13.
All right. It fails.
8 points of fire damage.
Awesome. All right. 1,000 Scars.
1,000 Scars sees this 100-handed creature in front of him, and he would, as a bonus action, expend one of his glory points he just gained from striking the first blood in combat. And he would yell to Blitz. He's using his rally and reinvigorate ability, so that we both gain 3 temporary grit points. They act just like regular temporary hit points, like 5e does. And then I'm going to smack it.
Awesome. Smack
with
it.
my big hammer. I got a total of 17 to hit.
That is a hit.
Nice. And that would be a total of 12 points of bludgeoning damage. And I'm going to expend my action surge to do this yet again. Another smack.
Action surge.
Action shush. No, I can only choose one other person because my charisma is really low. Karen. So only the other melee guy gets it. Sorry. This will be a 16 to hit.
That is also a hit.
That'll be 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Whew, all right. So
And
this...
I'll just be yelling to my companions, now, strike it now!
So this thing, as it's taking hit after hit from you guys, it keeps putting its arms up, and they fall off very easily, but the amount of arms that replace them just seem to be innumerous. And this thing just suddenly doesn't look as hurt as the amount of damage that you dealt it. And so it's going to run at you or go towards you, Thousand Scars, and it's going to close in on itself, almost creating like this like claw, just this huge claw with its hands, and it just kind of collapses in on you, and it hits you for 11 points of grit damage. And then you see that it's going to lunge at you. Its jaw kind of unhinges, making its mouth just huge, and it's going to try and bite you. But at the last moment, you see that this is coming, and you just narrowly miss. And you can hear almost at the ear this whistling noise, and you hear the clap, the click of the teeth closing.
Yeah, I'm parrying with like the haft of my hammer, and like, it smacks against it and shoves me back a few. I stagger a bit, but I'm able to swing aside the bite attack at the last second.
And then we're back up to Scorch.
So I see that this lady is completely engulfed, Thousand Scars with her hands. Or is
Yeah,
it
she has recoiled a bit. It was just like this, like, snap with all her hands kind of coming together. Like just these claws.
Okay. Scorch kind of mutters under her breath this foul, kind of guttural sound that sounds kind of like rocks melting and bubbling, and in the process, then she's staring right at this creature. The creature needs to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
Sorry, what check?
Wisdom.
Wisdom, okay. She fails.
Okay, so she is going to take 3d8 psychic damage as her brain is boiling inside of her head. That's 17 points of psychic damage. And I will always know where her location is until the spell ends.
Awesome. She lets out this screech, and within blocks and blocks radius, if there was any form of glass, any form of windows, you can hear it shatters. And two of her hands go and hold on to her head as she is racked with pain. Blitz.
being morally encouraged by my comrade in arms, I'm going to hopefully give this a better go than last time. And holding my Kopesh in one hand, I'm going to strike at some of these arms, trying to help him get out. It wasn't a 1, but it's not over 10, so probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, she quickly recovers, and she sees your blow coming, and she just quickly, it might have been at one of her arms, and she just quickly like separates it so that you miss. That brings us to Amon.
Yeah. This creature, this woman, did she run out of the fire to get to 1,000 Scars, or was 1,000 Scars right in front of her when she attacked?
I think 1,000 Scars was right in front of her, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
she hasn't moved from
Okay. If she ends her turn in the fire, she has to roll again for damage.
Oh, okay.
And the result that I rolled on my blood thing makes everything that I do deal max damage, so it'd be 8.
Okay. And if she succeeds, it's half damage?
It's half damage.
Okay.
Oh wait, is it half damage or no damage? Give me a second just to double check. No, it's no damage.
Okay. All right. So yeah, she did succeed that time.
Right. So Amon still sort of on, like bent over, moving like a little creature starts to giggle again, and the giggling is interspersed with a few words as he rolls backwards, spinning, whipping his tail forward and letting loose a crack. He's casting Eldritch Blast at the creature.
Okay.
And I get a, what is it, 19 total.
Yeah, that is a hit.
10, not 10. I add my charisma. 13 points of damage.
Okay.
And again, he just...
All right, 1,000 Scars.
I will smash it back, trying to get it off of me, off this grappling that it's been doing lately. So I'm just gonna smack it with my maul. 23 to hit.
That is a hit.
For 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Bludgeoning. Okay.
That is the extent of my turn.
This thing is looking very injured. It's not recovering as fast as you guys are dealing its damage, and some of its damage it cannot heal. But it still lunges at you, 1,000 Scars, and goes in this same like all these hands come around you again to try and claw at you. Oh, that is the wrong dice. That is going to hit for 9. And then she's going to try and lunge at you again with her teeth. But again, you are able to dodge it. And again, you hear that clack, clack of the teeth snapping together. And we're back up to Scorch.
At this point, Scorch is going to again throw out that heat blast that she has. So 19 to hit.
That is a hit.
8 points of force damage.
You bring this thing to its knees. It's on all fours, many of its hands supporting it, trying to hold it up. You can hear it breathing and gasping for air, just... Blitz.
Well, it's still alive, and it's still. How is it in relation to trying to grasp my comrade?
So she let go, and she is now on all fours. So she is prone.
I gotta try and show my friend that I can hit something. So I'm gonna scratch my nails across the blade and use booming blade against it. As thunder crackles around it, and that's a 23 to hit finally.
That is a hit.
And that will be, it's one-handed. So 14 points of damage, and how much of that is thunder? 3 of it is thunder.
So you can tell me how you kill this demon.
He would say I'm just getting started, and he'd slam her down one-handedly. He'd slash at her, and not expecting to have killed her, like do way more, slice way harder down and into the ground through her, and look up in surprise and redraw his weapon.
And she kind of collapses to the ground, letting out this final whistling noise. And immediately, all of her hands detach from her body and start to scuttle away. That triggers an opportunity attack from anyone close to her, which I believe is Thousand Scars, Amon. Yeah.
No, I moved back.
Oh, yes, that's right.
It would be Thousand Scars and Blitz. They're the ones engaged in melee.
Right, yes.
Would my booming blade go off first then? Since I'm moving away?
Yeah, so you killed her, and after you killed her, these things would just scuttle away, which would you guys can do an opportunity attack against them.
Be a 10 for me, so I doubt that I can. Been
No.
too staggered by that blow that she just had moments ago.
And Chad?
15?
Yeah, you manage to nab one of these hands, and you kind of come down with it. You don't have to roll damage. It's a hand. You kind of come down, and you stab it, and it just kind of twitches and kind of curls up in this odd way, kind of like some sort of beetle would. But that is the end of combat. And you can see the gushes of blood that comes out of this thing. And the smell, this sweet smell, overwhelms all of you.
You struck the last blow, so you may feed first, Thousand Scars says to Blitz, kind of giving him a nod of good deeds.
There's plenty to go around, my friend. Let us all join in together.
a toast to our success. And with that, I imagine like I'd pick up one of the hand or some bit of gore and just slowly eat it.
And so, for those who partake, this is a CR4 thing. Demon. So that will influence your roll. And for the audience, who may not know, every time a tiefling kills a demon, they get to roll on the blood. We changed the name, so I want to get it right. I don't want to be misleading.
Blood feeding table.
Yes, the blood feeding table. They roll a d20, and then they add the CR, the difficulty, or the CR of the monster, or the devil they defeated, and add that. And so for everyone, I'd like to go through what people got and what effect that gives them. If you don't have the book open in front of you, that's fine. Just tell me what you got, and I will let you know. We'll start with Chad first. What did you roll?
Oh, Blitz got a 21. It says, you relish in the suffering of others, and you treat all damage die rolls as if they were rolled their maximum. For example, a spell that does 3d6 damage would do 18 damage.
Awesome.
That's wicked.
Connor.
Thousand Scars got a total of 18. Thousand Scars gains a new supernatural power. I choose a second level spell on the Warlock spell list. I may cast that spell as a second level spell once per short rest, using Charisma as my spellcasting ability. Also, like the previous effect that I had would fade away from this.
Yes.
So I no longer have my armored thick hide with spines everywhere. My AC is going to drop from 20 to 12.
Okay. Thank you.
Relying on that.
This whole time it was just 3 goblins in a trench coat.
I rolled a 19. Says your defenses are hardened. Choose one ability score. Saving throws using that ability score are made with advantage. So as he feeds, I was trying to ask this before if I can use shape water on blood. He'll like dip his tail into the whatever part of the corpse is available, and he'll just stand there and let the blood crawl up his tail, and then through his start soaking his armor, folding up his neck and underneath his mask, as you just start hearing him gulp. And because of the result, the residual blood starts to harden and spine and plate up, and start weaving all the little separate bones together so that he now has a crimson carapace.
Ooh, that's metal. I love that. And Karen, what did you get?
I rolled a 12, which says that I am rejuvenated by the feeding, and my maximum grit has been increased by a d6, and I rolled a 5.
Awesome. Very cool. And with that battle now ended, you guys feel tiredness creeping in, and you are going to go up by 3 exhaustion points. This commotion, however, it seems now that you are out of combat and out of focus or all your attention is not on this demon, and maybe it's the smell too. You see 3 tieflings standing a few ways off, clad in blood obsidian armor. And they are running towards you. And we're just going to take a quick break there for a moment. So take 10 minutes or however long you need. Get a drink.
We need what we need is to take like that clip from Mad Max Fury Road with the dude playing guitar and like play that as a music soundbite for intermission.
Yeah. We will introduce everyone here when everyone comes back. I did just want to take this moment quickly to let everyone know that on Sundays on Twitch, Mini Terrain Domain, Marquise is running a Crifoth campaign called The Last 7 Days. We have already done session 1. It was awesome. I am a player in it, and so is Connor. And it's really, really awesome. If you guys would check it out, that would be so cool. Again, that's on Mini Terrain Domain, Twitch, and on Sundays. So thanks, guys. We will see you in a minute. Hello, everyone. Y'all enjoying the game so far?
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
Good.
No, we haven't died yet.
I was probably about 1 or 2 more rounds away from being dead, so no worries.
Good to know.
Now that my AC is like cut in half, I'm pretty scared. I almost should have like not fed, but like I had to. What if I got something better? Like, come on.
I know I kind of didn't want to feed either because I had, a really cool thing, but but you gotta feed because when's the next one gonna happen, right?
That exhaustion, though.
Yes, sir. Is anyone over their threshold?
Absolutely.
Oh yes, yes.
Yep. I'm by 1 point over.
I'm good.
I'm 2 points over.
All right, not bad, not bad. We'll see how high we can get that by the end of the game. All right, now with everyone here, let's do before we get back into it, we'll do a quick introduction. You guys can introduce yourselves, your character, anything else you want to say, do whatever. We will start with Chad.
Chad. I guess I have a YouTube channel. Just my name, Chad Smith. It's mostly just games I've played in. Hopefully, I'll have a name gimmick later on and have a channel and yada yada. I'm playing Blitz. He's like the demon that he originally fed upon, imbued him with there's like thunder in his blood, lightning. So his abilities are supposed to be like that. He's like a darker skinned tiefling, especially now that he fed. And there's like lightning crackling underneath his skin. And he's a blood hunter. I found it suiting that's what we were hunting. And he's a blood knight. That's his background. And I like Crifoth. So we're gonna go and find somewhere to die in Crifoth right now. Crifoth. Sorry. And so I won't impede that any further.
Awesome. That is really cool. I really like that. Connor.
Hi, I'm Connor. I am the more insignificant creator of Crifoth. The more significant one is running this game. I'm playing as Thousand Scars, a tiefling gladiator. I'm playing as a gladiator class. He's called Thousand Scars because if you count them, he probably has at least 1,000 scars from whiplashes, from bite marks, terrible things. Some of them aren't even fully healed over, as he was a former slave that was rescued by the Blood Knights, and that's why he joined them. Kind of a life for life kind of scenario. He's severely weakened by this new feeding, but also has a new ability, which is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to smacking some heads and gaining glory points.
Awesome. And Neff, why don't you go?
Yep. I'm my name is Nelson. I am the psycho behind Infinite Roleplay, and I'm 1/4 of a point of inspiration over at Infinite Roleplay. I have designed, written, and illustrated a entire system based off of the 5e OGL known as Saturday Morning Tabletop, where it's very inspired by the older comics and the 80s cartoons. like Dundar the Barbarian, G.I. Joe, the old Forgotten Realms movie, things like that. And over at A Point of Inspiration, I am a writer-illustrator for the Knights of the Lamb, which is a more rules light game. It's designed from the ground up to allow players to play teddy bear knights that fight the evil monsters in protection of their children. And I'm playing a character by the name of Amon Abraxes. He's a tiefling that is very centered around blood. And in my mind, he's being driven a little mad, a little off kilter by all these feedings. Maybe even hearing in the back of his mind the echoes of words of the past lives of the demons that he's drunk upon. He's a multi-class. He's a warlock sorcerer. And his warlock pact is Pact of the Fiend. And I took that again because he's gaining power, additional power from these whispers, garnering knowledge and forbidden techniques from the echoes of the blood in which he feeds.
Super, super cool. I like that. First multi-classer, I think, or what? No, but one of the first multi-classers in Crifoth, so that's very cool. And Karen.
Hi, I'm Karen. I have absolutely nothing to plug, so I am just 100% me. I'm playing Scorch. She's a tiefling who has always had this kind of affinity for fire. And one day, as she was looking into the campfire that she was at, it spoke back to her. And from that moment on, she understood it. And from that moment on, she was able to access these wonderful powers. And she is a warlock with a primordial patron. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Good. Glad to have all of you. You guys are all awesome. Nelson, I think, is the only one this is his first foray, his first frolic into Crifoth. So, very, very cool. I'm very excited. So let's just get right back into it. So you see these 3 tieflings, and they're running toward you. And immediately, once they get close, you see that they are indeed legionaries by their signature obsidian armor that they are clad in. And they run toward you and they stop. And there's this kind of face-off a little bit. They look at you, and it's almost like they're waiting for you to make the first move.
I'll make a move.
I make one too. It's to scurry a little bit away again.
I will say some words in fiendish tongue and kind of wave my hands around and try to charm the biggest one.
All right. What kind of save does he need to make?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
And that's about 13.
Oops, 1 second. That rolled off the table. He succeeds.
All right.
So he just kind of like shakes his head a little bit, but doesn't really pay much mind to it. Does anyone say anything, or do they let the silence
No.
lengthen?
Thousand Scars would say something. First, what stronghold are we currently foraying in?
You tell me.
That is dire straight.
Okay.
So I would look at these legionaries, and the fact that they haven't already reached for their swords and pointing them at our necks is an indicator of something that we're looking for. And so I would take notice of this. Thousand Scars has a keen eye. He knows how to avoid a lashing. And so he would announce in his thunderous voice, "Stand down and say Volkrath's name in a curse. Curse his name. Curse Volkrath for me."
And they kind of pause and they kind of look at each other just very hesitantly. But they kind of relax a bit, and the one steps forward and in Fiendish says, "I curse the name of my once master. I hope that he burn in the red sun." And then he spits on the ground. And then the other two kind of say something similar, all having to do with burning in the red sun. And they too spit on the ground. And they look back. So the Bloodites did get our call.
Thousand Scars kind of mutters to his side to the rest of his companions, "These are the ones we are looking for." And he would nod to the three.
Amon, just under his mask, within the earshot of his allies, just hisses, "What a waste of water."
They slowly and very cautiously approach you, but not getting to within more than 5 feet. And they say, "There is something. No, there are many things that are chasing us. Hunters."
We know. We will bring you back alive and well if you can put your trust in us. If you cannot do that, then you will burn by the red and wither by the gray.
Are these the ones we're supposed to bound?
Find, not bind.
Oh.
Find. They are an asset to us.
All right.
They are defectors.
Can't trust
The
them
people
all,
we
can
see.
we? They're traitors, right?
They risked a lot.
Very well, I trust you, my friend.
So, will you lead us back to your camp? And he says it very awkwardly, like he doesn't really know what to say.
Thousand Scars nods. What do you say? But first, these. And I think he would gesture to one of his companions that would be carrying with them blindfolds. I don't know who this would be. Someone else can kind of raise their hand who they want to have that be. But I imagine that when they bring in recruits they blindfold them first so that they can't see how to get into these secret bases that the Blood Knights have. So if they are spies or scouts or otherwise infiltrators, they, don't have that kind of information.
Yeah, I like that. Does anyone who has the blindfolds?
I would have one at least.
Oh yeah, I'd have one too.
So maybe each of you always carry one with you. And so 3 of you would go and...
These are for your protection and for ours. As Thousand Scars would forcefully wrap at least one of their heads in blindfold.
Yeah, Amon just sort of tosses his towards the group and scurries back a few more steps. Ah.
They do so. Quite willingly, quite efficiently, and once they are all bound, they'll say, all right, where shall we go?
Follow our voices. And then Thousand Scars turns to his other 3 companions. Let's move. Now, before those hunters catch our trail. And he would start to set off back the way we came.
You guys are walking, and you walk for a little while. Amon, one of them kind of... So sorry, you are all in front of them, and they're kind of following you?
I think actually Scorch would walk behind them to make sure, that they are following and that, they're not going to just bang into things and make loud noises and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a rope in that pack?
Yes, there is rope in that pack.
I would pull it out to where they each can hold on to. He said he wouldn't bind them, but fine, I'll give them each a rope to hold on to, and then I'll hold one end that they can just follow behind me. Try to stay in my steps. Oh, wait, you can't.
I need you, Scorch, to make a perception check, please.
That is a whopping 8.
You are distracted by something, whether that be perhaps memories of this thing, this devil that whispered to you that you fought before, and now you think that you see glimpses of it in the buildings, or maybe a rustling, or you are just distracted. And in that time, one of the legionaries kind of goes up beside you, Amon, and just kind of nudges you a little bit with an ever so slight nod. And what do you do?
Ah! Watch where you're going. Watch it. Who's holding them? Blitz? You said you're like...
Blitz is walking them. Yeah.
He calls out to Blitz. Blitz, watch him. Watch. Get him. And he's going to start scurrying a little like fidgety and nervously a little bit ahead of the party some more.
And immediately he kind of gets back into line, but you see that all of a sudden, they tug the rope. And I need you to make a strength saving throw, Blitz, at disadvantage, please.
Well, yeah, I was already gonna be at that with all the exhaustion. So, all right, so it's just a straight saving. Well, it doesn't matter. 17, even with the disadvantage.
Okay. So with that, you are not pulled down, but you feel yourself stagger a little bit. And immediately, the legionaries, they take off their blindfolds and they surround you. And the largest one, he kind of steps forward with this cocky smile. And he goes towards Thousand Scars, and he says, "Now it is your time to put on the blindfold. You are now our prisoners."
Stand down. You are outnumbered. 4-3.
Yeah, with that, Scorch from the back would holler at him like, "How dare you! Do you not know how strong we are?" And she's kind of getting all up in his face and using Intimidate to kind of make him
Yep,
back
make me
down.
an intimidation check, please.
17.
Can I offer her help with this? Kind of, because we're acting in tandem here.
Sure.
That'll give you advantage then.
Okay. Oh, thank you. That would make it a 24.
You can see him kind of step back a little bit. There's a flash of fear and just hesitation. Tie her up first.
Amon, sort of still scurrying back, starts giggling. And he'll grab some sand off of the stoned floor, rub his hands in it, and just blow forward. And he's going to be casting sleep. But he's going to be casting it. It's, what is it again? It's a. Oh damn! I just lost my spot. I'm sorry. All right, 20-foot radius. He's moving back, and he's going to be casting sleep, taking cares to make sure that his allies are the only ones within the spell.
Wait, what?
And he puts to sleep 33, I guess, grit points.
That is an interesting question. What would sleep? So that's.
I imagine sleep would affect grit, not your blood. It's
Okay.
like it's your tenacity to stand on your feet is what would
True.
save you.
Yeah. Okay, so
Huh.
does that
Putting to sleep from what is it? Highest to lowest? Lowest. It's lowest to highest,
lowest
right?
to highest? Yeah.
Yeah.
So does anyone come close to the 33?
So my total is
because he got messed up.
22.
I'm at 21 right now.
I'm at 20 right now.
Oh, we healed after the fight?
No, I didn't take any damage, and then I got additional grit points from feeding.
And I
Oh,
burned a
my-
second wind on mine, so
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did my temporary ones come into account?
Yep.
Then I'd be at 23. I took 3 damage from invoking my right,
Okay.
but
Oh.
I'm at 23.
So I guess I put to sleep Thousand Scars and him alone.
well, wasn't it Karen?
Yeah, I think it's Karen.
Oh, Karen. How much is hers?
21.
21.
I'm 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Karen, you drop. You feel sleep overtake you. And everything goes black.
Amon's just giggling. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And the bigger one steps forward and he says to Thousand Scars, "So you think we are outnumbered? No, no. No, you are wrong. We can do this the easy way or the bloody way."
Thousand Scars stands firm, his hand just gripping the haft of his massive maul. He feels the power of the blood surging through him, the blood he just fed upon. He kind of chuckles. "No. You are numbered 5-4. And 3 illusory duplicates of myself would appear around me. So there are now 4,000 scars, all kind of, standing in kind of a square formation, 2 by 2 or whatever.
4,000
It's
scars.
4,000 scars. And they'd all snarl, but not at the same time, but no, in random different, they'd all do different kind of things. One would flex, one would kind of heave the hammer off the ground, the other one would bellow at them, so on and so forth. And I think that I would engage in combat at this point.
All right, everyone, do initiative except for poor Karen. poor Scorch is asleep.
Ooh, 20.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, 1,000 Scars, you have the first strike.
Yeah, and so he would smash down with 4 hammers at this tiefling in front of him. But we're all like sidestep around each other in this almost blur of forms, we're acting confusingly because of this. And I'm making an attack here. Come on, baby. Hey, there we go. It'll be an 18 to hit this guy.
An 18 hits.
So that would be max damage for 15 points of damage. That will give me 2 glory points. Boom, boom, as I struck first blood, and I did max damage. I've got a bonus action I can do. How do I want to spend my glory here? How does he look after this 15?
Give me 1 second. He still looks pretty good. Definitely that blow got him a bit off guard, but he is still standing.
All right. In his stumbling, I'm going to press the advantage. I'm going to use effort in this attack. I'm going to spend both of my glory points. Oh, never mind. I can't do that. Hold up. I can't attack twice. Yeah, I'll hold. That's my turn.
All right. That brings us to Amon.
Amon still sort of like giggling and chittering a little madly back. He continues like backing up, moving in sinuous motions, again interspersing undiscernible syllables and whatnot between his laughter, waving his tail as he bends down forward to rise his tail up, and you start seeing lightning crackle and dance around his tail as the sides of his the mask. You see the sides of the mask begin to part and curl up to illustrate a very cracked smile as he finally whips his tail at Blitz. All right, that's it was mine. 16. My math is not working. 16 plus 3 is what? 19. 19 to attack Blitz for a Witch Bolt. It hits him? All right. $12 damage. And again, he's like, ah.
And so now it is these legionaries. Two of them charge at you, Thousand Scars, and I'm just trying to get your AC. 12. Okay.
Yeah, whenever they attack me, they have to make another d20 roll. Keep that d20 roll separate for each attack, and just tell me what that number on the d20 roll is.
Okay. Is it how many times they attack? If they attack twice, I have to roll twice, or just once?
Let's see. Let me see the wording. Per attack.
Okay. So a 15, a 13, a 14, and a 7.
So a whole bunch of high numbers and then a 7.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so the first 3 hits would strike 3 of my duplicates.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what damage they do, they would disperse the things. So then the next 3 hits, or however many are left over, would go to me.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see that the one goes for your one double, hits it, goes for your other, hits it. They both disperse. The next one goes after your other double and hits it. So that's 3, right?
Yeah,
And
I have
then
3 doubles that.
Yeah. And then it goes to hit you, but you see this coming and you were able to dodge. And Blitz, you are hit for 4 by this one who is at you. All right. And then that brings us to Blitz.
I will say in my Fiendish tongue, thunderbolts, and draw my free hand across my blade to invoke my Crimson Right. And then I will charge at this vicious form that is trying to strike me with my own element. And I gotta do so at disadvantage. That's 14 against your AC.
All right. Were you engaged in melee with the legionaries?
Not as if. Oh, it did strike me, didn't it? So it
Yeah.
have an attack of opportunity.
Yes. So if you still want to, I will let you attack that if you want, or if you do want to go for Amon.
Which of the legionaries was it? Was it the one that I tried to charm before?
No, it wasn't. It's the other one.
I still got to do it. He used lightning against me, or thunder against me, so I'm gonna risk the.
Okay. He misses. he is so overtaken by just what you do just to run away. He doesn't take the opportunity to hit you. So
what was your attack roll?
14.
My AC was raised up to 18 after the last feeding. So
yeah, that was with the booming blade. So yeah, it's a disadvantage. That's what it gets you.
Amon kind of gets hit by your blade just barely, and it dances across this crimson chitin that's now decorating his skin.
okay, so that brings us back up 2,000 scars.
Yeah, so I imagine in this kind of dance of blows where they strike down my doubles, I'm able to find just an opening in the assault. I'm going to use effort on this attack roll. So I'm sacrificing 10 of my grit points to gain advantage on it. But I'm going to go for blood for this attack, spending both of my glory points. Just trying to basically kill him out in one hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a total of 17 to hit.
Is that straight to blood? For 17?
No, it's like to hit, to see if I hit him.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 17, yes, sorry, that's
Right.
a hit.
I'm going to do 14 points of blood damage to him.
That kills one of them right off.
Yeah, so just whomp. I'm going to smash his chest cavity in, caving in like the armor. Basically kind of collapsing one of his lungs, and he would double up on the ground and suffocate to death. And I gain a glory point back because I killed someone. And that is my turn.
All right. Amon.
Now with Blitz like in his face, Amon is still with the sinuous motions. And he starts almost not very skillfully, but like dancing around Blitz, moving the lightning dancing across his chin and his tail, and he flicks his tail one more time, and a spark of lightning jumps from Amon into Blitz, dealing. Okay, no, that's bad. Not gonna do that again. 1 point of damage.
Okay, and with 2 legionaries left, one of them goes for you, 1,000 scars, hits you twice for 9 points of damage. Oh, and
Total.
he has, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, total. And Blitz, the other one runs towards you and hits you once for 7, and then you take this damage and you don't see the other uppercut coming towards you. He scored a crit. So this damage is going to go directly to your blood, which is 3 points of blood damage.
I'm already at 0.
0 grit?
Yeah.
Okay. So then just 3 points of blood damage, and you are down now because you are gritless.
And then my armor reduces 2 of those, so I only take 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep.
But unfortunately, because you are gritless, you lose a turn because you were just trying to recover yourself from having the wind knocked out of you.
Oh, I'm not unconscious?
No.
Because I'm still... All right.
No, you still have blood points. If you still have blood points left, you're still alive. You just have the wind knocked out of you. All right, 1,000 scars.
There's another one on me, and I am going to also, I'm just going to strike at him for another time. and let's see what happens. 22 to hit.
That is a hit.
Come on. There we go. 13 points of blood damage.
13?
Yep.
Cool.
So I don't know why I said blood damage. Bludgeoning damage. And he still stands, right?
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna shout, "Get up! We're still in this!" As I use Rally and Reinvigorate once again to give myself and Blitz 3 more temporary grit points. And I'm done my turn.
Okay. Amon.
So Blitz is still standing, right? Or does he, like, when he goes, when you say he went down, did he fall down, or does he just like lose a turn?
Yeah, when you go gritless, you don't like literally go prone. You just you're kind of like staggering back a little bit. Maybe go drop to one knee or something, but you're still fine. Yeah. And you're still like functional. You're just kind of dazed for a turn.
Yeah. Do I really want to do what I'm thinking of? Yeah. He's just gonna Amon dancing. What? Now you know you Don? Oh, don't. Amon sort of drops to all fours for a second and turns to face Thousand Scars' direction, and you see the smile on the mask begin to crack further as it opens up, showing Amon's mouth underneath as he yells, "Ah!" and pulses again with lightning, dealing 9 points of damage to Blitz.
So once I lose the 3 temporary that I have, the rest goes to blood?
Yep.
So 6 blood minus 2 is 4. That's still gonna... I'm done. I'm dead.
0 blood. He goes down.
Right. It doesn't kill him right off, though, right?
No, it's still going into like death saving throws. Yeah.
All right.
But I lose a turn, so...
Yeah, he he finally collapses, and Amon turns around just to giggle for a bit. You're next, as he turns his back to face Thousand Scars.
All right. Thousand Scars, this one is engaged in combat with you. Doing 12 points of damage.
This slays the Thousand Scars.
Like just gritless or like outright 0?
As in, I had 6 points of grit and 6 points of blood.
Oh, all right.
you said you did 12, right?
Yep.
Yep. Cool. I'm now at 0 blood. Dope. So, what kind of weapon is this dude using?
He has a long sword.
Yeah. So I imagine it's like a pummel to the side of the head. Kind of knocks me askew, and in this askewedness, he can get a nasty flesh wound on me, and this causes me to double over, fall unconscious, and start bleeding out on the sand and stone ground that we're on right now.
And so, Thousand Scars, things go black, and the last thing you hear is the maniacal laugh of Amon as you drift into nothingness. But then The three of you suddenly wake up as water is splashed onto your face. You feel you are hanging by your wrists, dangling. The room is dark. And a figure walks forward. And it's the one of the legionaries that you did not slay. And he looks at all of you. He's, good, you're awake. Glad to see we didn't overpower you too much.
Thousand Scars struggles to speak. He's bruised. He's sore from the wound. I don't know if it's been cauterized or if it's still just kind of bleeding out or whatever. What are his surroundings like?
So you feel that you are not bleeding out anymore. But everything around you is dark except for these red pillars that seem to shine from behind you, casting this eerie glow onto this legionary. And in the shadows, you hear a laugh too. And you know Amon is here. Somewhere in the shadows.
I think accompanied by that laugh, as the water was splashed on them, to wake them up, you hear in the shadows, such a waste of water, as he uses his power to shape the water and bring it back off of them into the shadows.
Question, you said we were hanging up.
Mm-hmm.
How are we hanging?
By your wrists. Kind of like up.
Okay.
Thousand Scars would attempt to strain at his shackles with just sheer strength if possible.
Okay, make a strength check if you'd like.
Am I too exhausted to do this though? That's the question.
Oh,
nope.
Speaking of which, you guys wake up with another 2 exhaustion, the 3 of you.
Oh, great.
Sorry, I forgot.
I am not too exhausted to do this. But I got a total of 12 to break my shackle, or at least kind of strain against them if possible.
You hear them, and you hear them screech and twist, kind of, but they don't feel like they're giving way anytime soon. Or that wasn't enough strength. And he says, yeah, so you're like a V, kind of. It's not exactly outright. It's kind of like not exactly above your head.
Mm-hmm.
But he says, no, no, no. Not so fast. You are going to wait. Wait and give us some information.
With that, Thousand Scars is going to try and bite his tongue as hard as he can to sever it, cause it to bleed profusely.
Okay,
as his last kind of ditched effort here.
Okay, yeah, I would say maybe Constitution saving throw to see if you can withstand the pain enough to.
Okay. To press on through the pain.
To press on through the pain. I think that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. A total of I have proficiency in this. 23.
It is agonizing and you can feel the blood well up in your mouth. But at last your teeth meet.
And Thousand Scars is going to try to use this newfound wound to prevent his mind from being accessed, to prevent any information from leaking from him. This is his last-ditch effort to choke on his own blood.
I think make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 14.
So you are able to do this before the legionary reaches out. But you inhale quickly and you feel yourself losing consciousness. And the legionary looks to Scorch and to Blitz. Well, I guess we just have the two of you then. And don't think you'll be so lucky as your friend here was. And you feel yourselves go rigid, almost like something is controlling your body so that you cannot move. And unless anyone has anything to add to finish up, this is where we're going to end our session.
Can Amon, I'm assuming Thousand Scars is like in the death throes of him choking on his own blood.
Yes.
Can Amon like scurry from the shadows like almost like a hungry little animal and crawl up on top of Thousand Scars and basically using his magic bring his face like a breath away, his lips, Amon's lips from Thousand Scars, and much in the same way of Legacy of Kain, start sucking the blood that he's choking on and then drinking it. So you just hear Amon swallowing.
Disgusting. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the image we will end with. So that was my fault. That was dark.
Well, that was a fun night, everyone.
I mean, well, tieflings are fiendish too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do they satisfy your thirst? That is a question that will be answered. Maybe.
Do they need
sometime.
to?
That was evil. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a little different. I hope it wasn't too railroady, but I had the idea, or some people helped me come up with this idea, and I really liked it, and I went with it, and hopefully that you guys had fun with that.
The good old one of us is actually a mole thing.
I didn't do anything. It's not my fault.
It's all your fault. All of it.
So, yeah, we're just going to end, and then Connor and I would love it if you would just stay for a few minutes and just, tell us how you feel.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, once the stream is over, then you can yell at me. So thank you, everyone who played. You guys are amazing, amazing players. And thank you to everyone who watched. It is just so cool every time I play, just to see Crifoth come to life and just to interact with it. And I think that is so cool. Once again, I'm just going to do one last quick plug for the last 7 days campaign run by Marquise every Sunday on the Twitch channel Mini Terrain Domain, which is by Drake. Jake. He is producing it. Oh, their names are so similar. Jake. They're producing it. He is producing it, and Marquise is running it, and it's fantastic. I'm a player. Connor's a player. So hopefully you guys check that out for more Crifoth fun. And see you guys next time. Have a good night.